The following is taken from the Celtic Book of Days by Caitlin Matthews. The Moraghan is the Irish goddess of renewal. Although she is more frequently called a goddess of battle, her role is more subtle than this. The Moraghan is a triple aspected goddess comprising Neman, Beth, and Macha. She often appears as a crow over battlefields, scavenging the slain. However, she is also concerned with sexuality and fertility. She meets with Adeda on Samhain Eve and mates with him at the ford. Their meeting marks the coming together of the great formative powers of the Celtic world, since the end of the summer half of the year also marks the ending of the campaign season. When the Moraghan comes to mate with Adeda, she lays aside her warring side and, with the father of the gods, prepares the land for the germination and preparation of winter. The Moraghan is associated with the Féile na marbh, a common figure found carved, usually over the western entrance to churches. She is usually shown as a hag with a gaping, mocking, or smiling face, and with both hands opening her distended vulva. The Féile represents the womb and tomb of life, the essential threshold between the worlds. Now the doors between the worlds are open once again as we gather to celebrate Samhain, the end of summer, and to welcome the ancestral wisdom once again in the embrace of winter. Samhain marks the Celtic New Year as the winter season begins. This may seem a strange season to begin the new year, but as the days draw darker, shorter, and colder, as the trees become bare and leafless, the agricultural year is at its close and its beginning. The growth cycle begins in the darkest depths of winter, when the cold forces seeds to germinate in preparation for their spring emergence. Although all seems dead, life rests and waits for the returning light. The period of Samhain is a good time for introspection, giving space for personal perspective and reflection. The festival of Samhain began the winter half of the year. It was believed that the Cailleach, the aspect of the goddess who appeared as an old woman, hit the ground with her hammer, making it iron hard until Imbolc. On Samhain night, the gates of the other world were open, allowing communion with the ancestors. In the Christian era, the festival was reassigned to the Feast of All Saints. However, many of the customs surrounding modern Halloween, the Eve of All Hallows or Saints, still concern this ancient understanding of the accessibility of the dead at this time. The ancestors were respected as the repositories of lore and wisdom. Many Celtic tales speak of the dead returning to speak to their descendants in order to impart knowledge or to restore memory of ancient customs and stories. The feasts of both Samhain and Beltane were considered to be outside the boundaries of normal activities when supernatural events take place. The barriers between humans, ancestors, gods, and fairies are overthrown, and they can visit each other's realms. The modern festival of Halloween, All Saints' Eve, derives from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.